Good afternoon, audience. Daniel and Sofia here. The topic of today's podcast, as you probably read in a little, is the bad nutritional culture, a real and important issue in our society, and most specific in the Mexican society. To start, we will meet Pepito, a kid with a very serious problem, the addiction of a Coca-Cola. So he told us, "Hi, I'm Pepito. I'm 10 years old and I have an addiction to the soda Coca-Cola. My addiction starts since I have memory. My parents always give me Coca-Cola for every meal we have, so I get very used to drinking all the time. Anyways, he wasn't a problem until my doctor said I could have diabetes if I continue with this addiction. So, I realized I never drink water anymore, just Coca-Cola. In the actuality, Pepito is going to a nutriologist to get some help. And now, we'll interview Liam Sanchez, a specialist in nuclear physics, who, for some reason, knows about recent problems in junk food, marketing regularly, and child obesity.
Good afternoon, Daniela and Sofia, and yes, I am a nuclear physicist talking about child obesity.
It's great to have you, I guess, here. Anyways, you had some interesting ideas about the rising situation of child obesity in Mexico. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, as we all know, the obesity is growing dangerously, and for some reason, some of the biggest companies out there on the that are producers of food, they thought for some reason that the thing behind this problem with the obesity on children, it's because of animated characters on cereal boxes. Yeah, yeah, I don't know either how they came out with that, but they clearly think that way because they just simply took like, oh hey, you know what? The reason behind all of this problem and the reason why the children are consuming that many junk food, it's because of the characters, obviously, because they only see the character and they say, that's a nice character, let's buy this and consume it. And well, that's not the thing, because the very reason why kids just buy junk food, it's because they are addictive. And you know, the thing is that adults think that kids are more stupid than they really are. Like, oh, it pains me to think that some big company thought, oh yeah, the reason why they're consuming that much of our products is because of the characters. That's not it. It's what's inside the product. How addictive it is, because it's not just a product. It's not just like, oh yeah, well, this bag of chips, it's just, well, they're just potatoes. They are not just potatoes. They go through a very specific process to make those chips, and obviously there has to be something that makes it addictive to just the kids. It's not just the characters on the boxes.
It really seems like companies could lose millions to recover from this problem, doesn't it?
You're right, Sophie. The companies are being affected by the terrible culture of consumerism that we have in these days. They must work faster and get another strategy of their product.
Personally, I believe this isn't due to the culture itself. It's really the people who are doing things wrong here. Historically speaking, we can see that indigenous cultures have really healthy diets, and most cultures have a diet that's based on the resources the first civilizations had. And while it may be true that in Mexico we had corn and beans and other whole grains, due to all the work and exercise we made, it was just a complement to our diets. I mean, without it, we wouldn't have many of our traditional dishes. We really do add tortillas and corn to almost everything we eat. But the thing is that this situation is actually happening to us in our modern world, and it's only a consequence of all the things we've done. I mean, major food industries consist of junk food rather than healthy food, and this applies to all ages, not only children. Fast food chains provide no nutrition in their meals, and if they provide any, it's not what the person needs. As we grow up, our need for vitamins and food consumption changes. Eating fried food or saturated fats doesn't help anyone.
I think you're right. Most cultures have good diet, but the common dishes people eat make them more prone to gain obesity.
I think it's very irresponsible for adults to let this happen. I mean, loving your child can involve treats every once in a while, but for your parent not to notice their own kid's obesity or notice it and not do anything about it, that's really something.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, Sophia, it's irresponsible. I mean, you have to be responsible for what your kids consuming.
Thank you so much, Liam. Your take on this topic was definitely something new. We hope to have you join us some other time.
Liam, sadly, we really have to let you go now. It was great talking to you. We hope you enjoyed talking to us, and we hope to have you sometime again.
Well, yeah, and thank you for inviting me over to this wonderful podcast where you two just talk and I just give some random exposition about how animated characters on cereal boxes doesn't make kids consume products. So I really enjoyed talking with you two, and thanks. I hope you call me again. Now, can we talk about the money?
We'll be right back here in the studio after this special ad from our sponsors.
Have you ever wanted a soda that makes you lose weight? Well, look no further because Chocola Cola has this and more for you. Well, you see, Chocola Cola has an innovative formula that makes you lose weight. You just have to stand there, drink some nice old Chocola Cola, and boom, all your problems solved. You're fat? No worries, just drink Chocola Cola and you're done. You're that supermodel you look up for. Chocola Cola, the soda you've been waiting for all your life, only for 18.99, available in every store you see.
We're back here in the studio, and sadly, this is almost the end of another podcast.
Aw, we had a really great time here today. We had nuclear physicist Liam Sanchez joining us to talk about his take on child nutrition, and we had some words about the history behind this.
In conclusion, we don't have to blame the companies to our bad cultural nutritional issues. We must have to take seriously our diet and get better.
Well, that was all on our part. We hope you liked our podcast and that you consider joining us again. We really have a good time being here to inform you on the latest news.
Thank you for listening. We will see you next time with some other topic about nutrition. This was the MSL.
Stay tuned to hear our thoughts about the whales that are returning to the coast of Italy.